Hello everyone, Batt Mannon here, and today I'm going to be trying something new. I'm going to be bringing you a daily-ish podcast. From Monday through Friday, I'll be coming to you with a brief cast containing interesting tidbits and my opinion on them. The series is likely to be very profound and, may alter the course of your life, however small that chance may be. So, today I'll be running through this as a test, learn what doesn't work for these abbreviated segments, as well as what topics I should be approaching. Feedback on this podcast is welcome, so don't hold back on the tweets at the Batt Mannon on Twitter, hashtag the Luck ChitChat. Let me know what topics I'm missing, what your thoughts are on current topics as well. I'll be sure to cover them later. Alright, now that I've gotten through most of that, let me actually tell you what today's topic is. Drum roll. Battle Royale games. Yes, Battle Royale games. You can't really look at any digital marketplace today without being overwhelmed by them. Whether it's an upcoming game with a new Battle Royale mode like Call of Duty Black Ops, the failure that is a rushed mode or game like The Culling 2, or the just insane, suffocating amount of Fortnite chatter plastered across every outlet, is at the point where it is impossible to escape it. Now, I'm going to come clean. Here's the secret. I'd never really played any of these types of games before, and honestly, I don't really enjoy them. Personally, I think they're really boring. Like, you either find a lot of people right at the beginning and probably die, or scrape through with maybe a kill, or you don't see anybody until the very end where you're picked off by somebody who has better shit than you. To win any of these games, honestly, you can literally just sit in a corner and do nothing until there are 6 people left, and then you just pick off the winners of those fights. Like, it's terrible. And, I know this is especially true for Fortnite, now that I'm adding to the suffocating amount of Fortnite chatter, because its map's a bit smaller. You can build most things so you can have a fort, and so hiding really is the best strategy, because the point of the game is to be the last alive. That's the point of Battle Royale. Not kill the most people, not get the coolest shit, not do the craziest stuff. It's literally just be the last one alive. Don't die. That's the point of those games. So, I think that's really my problem with it, is that people treat it like deathmatch. Like, oh, we got it in there and kill everybody. Why? That's not the point. If you want to do that, there's plenty of other games that actually have deathmatch modes. Why don't you just go do that instead? And it's really evident if you look at any tournament, like scoring, especially for Fortnite again, being the example, where the rank's not rated in time or anything but total kills. Really? The whole point of Battle Royale is to be the number one person, aka the last one alive, not kill the most people. So unless you play every match as like a part of a tournament and you try to get the kills, it's kind of broken objectives. That's just my opinion, of course. There are plenty of first-person shooters that offer way better gameplay to kill people. Like, that's the whole point of Doom and Call of Duty multiplayer is deathmatch. Originally, they've added other game modes too, but I digress. So now that I've got my bitching out of the way, I can see honestly why these games are popular. PUBG was really hyped up, and Epic, quickly retrofitted their game Fortnite to offer that Battle Royale match. It's kind of cool that theoretically you'll be forced into a smaller environment and have to confront people to win. It creates this, pressure scenario where time and location are the main enemies, followed by the equipment and other players. But, with all the hype around these, obviously clones are going to start swarming the marketplace, and they have. They can be, funny satirical games like Totally Accurate Battlegrounds. Like, that game is fucking hilarious to watch anybody play. But is it really good enough of a game to persist after that novelty is worn off and maybe you want to actually do it and play it the way that, it's kind of intended to. So satire kind of really ruins that at that point. But they can also be, slight tweaks to the overall formula. I'm pretty sure, I'm not entirely familiar, but the Culling, the first one, had smaller matches, I thought, where melee was more prominent than ranged combat, so it kind of forced everybody on top of that to kind of prevent the camping, even though the map was closing in. I'm not entirely familiar with the Culling, but if you're melee-based, that forces you to look for people. So that's, interesting. But again, most of them are going to be rush projects in the attempt to ride this popular wave. And speaking of Culling, it's literally perfect, because when I was writing this, and I shit you not, you can believe me, don't believe me, Zavient, I think that's how you say it, Zavient Games just announced they were pulling the Calling 2 off of the marketplace. When I was writing this, I was like, oh yeah, I know that one was a smaller one, and I think the sequel just came out, and I hadn't heard good things, but then I found, nope, it's going to be gone. It was released on July 10th, and it was obviously the sequel, the original having been released in March 2016. But the release was mired by lobby issues, terrible reviews because of all the bugs, and, nobody played it. I think after the first opening day, it dropped to double digits players, and when they pulled it, it was maybe single digits. It's fucking crazy. I don't know who the hell is playing it when there's only 9 people or less, but hey, it makes it a lot easier to win those things, I guess. Let's see here. Steam charts report the all-time peak was 249 people, which is not enough for 5 full matches of 50. Like, that's crazy. A more comical number when you compare it to the reported 2 million players that Epic had been reporting that people were playing Fortnite. 2 million compared to 249. Underwhelming is an understatement at that point. But also, people were unimpressed with the larger map size, which was presented as a notable improvement from the original one, which is weird because the original one I thought was supposed to be small, saying that it was almost impossible at this point to find another person at the point, which is why I think I mentioned earlier as well, but Fortnite having gone this slightly smaller may have been a key factor to its popularity as well. So after all of this, all the hype, I think they were quick to stop working on the first game to start this one. They are backtracking to the original one again, and they're just going to update it from there. At this point, you have to ask yourself, is it really worth it to just abandon the second game and go back to the first game, which you abandoned in 2017, but then you fucked it up so bad it only lasts a week? Maybe at this point consider making a different game entirely. Battle Royale might not be the best choice. So, this might beg a question, maybe it doesn't, but I'll present it anyway. Now, with this in mind, is this the beginning of the end for this genre? Honestly, I don't think so. Not yet. But what it does show is market and interest stress. Atari did almost this exact same thing in the 80s. They just started quickly pushing out things for the sake of having them, because they knew they were going to just make a quick cash grab, and that blew up fucking spectacularly in their face. Of course, I can hear it already. The scope of Atari was way bigger. Atari controlled everything, but, there's that whole saying about, not learning from history and being damned to repeat it. So it just shows that developers are starting to get to the point where they're just pushing them out without making sure their games are solid or even stable. Maybe it's time, maybe just start pumping the brakes a little bit, letting the hype calm down before you rush in and you burst the Battle Royale bubble entirely. Like, that could pop and blow up spectacularly. Maybe not in the same fashion with Atari, but it's not going to be good either. Alrighty, everybody. Well, that'll just about do it for me today. Thanks for sticking through this first daily chit-chat cast. I really appreciate it. So, again, definitely be sure to let me know what you think as well. Did I ramble a bit too much? Probably. Maybe should I start talking about something more specific? Should I, quit my bitching and maybe take somebody else who has a different opinion? Probably. I'm not really sure. You just let me know at the Batt Mannon on Twitter. And, unlike a quickly rushed Battle Royale cash grab, I will definitely be fine-tuning these and actually making, improvements, polishing it up, and listening to what people are actually saying. So that brings me back to it. Thank you again so much for listening. This has been Chit Chat with Batt Mannon. Have a good one, everybody.